morning, everybody. I'm Dan Gilman. I'm Pittsburgh City Councilman for District 8, and I couldn't be more excited to be here today to announce a new three-pronged approach to advancing life-saving technology in Pittsburgh and Allegheny County. I'm joined by the mayor and the county executive, who you'll hear from in a moment, as well as Dr. Yealy, who is the chairman of emergency medicine for UPMC and the University of Pittsburgh. We also have Director Hisrick of Pittsburgh Public Safety, Chief Farrow of Pittsburgh EMS, Chief Brown and Deputy Chief Thomas of Allegheny County Emergency Services, and Dr. Ron Roth, who's Medical Director for the City of Pittsburgh, as well as a number of representatives from UPMC and the University of Pittsburgh. Today we're announcing three things, and the key is, how do we get people the life-saving support they need in the quickest time? We are blessed in this city and in this region to have the greatest EMS there is to offer in the United States. But there still is a delay from when they get the call until they can get there. And statistics have continually shown that the closer and the sooner that you start CPR and other life-saving technology, the better we have a chance of resuscitation and living a full life. And so we're going to do three things today. First, how do we train more people? Second, how do we tell them where tools are? And three, how do we tell them when they're needed? So to train more people, through the partnership with UPMC and the city paramedics, we're going to train every single city employee in CPR by the end of the year, and we're going to start using opportunities to train large areas. You don't need to go through an entire true CPR class the way we used to. I had to do it to get my high school diploma. I had to be trained in CPR. What we've seen now is that if you can recall some knowledge, some experience, you can help save a life. So we want to look to opportunities where we have large crowds, whether it be a sporting event halftime show, it be television captive audiences, screens at airports, anything like that, to start to tell more people what they need to do in an emergency situation. And we're going to use a train-the-trainer model so that as we go out and train city employees, they can go out and train at community groups, they can go out and train other city departments, and we can start to go out throughout the city in all 90 neighborhoods, expanding basic CPR training. Second, you need to know where the technology and the tools are. Across the city, we have defibrillators. There's one by the elevators of the 5th floor of the city-county building. There is no list of them. There's absolutely no requirement to register them. There's no requirement for 911 or the city to know where they are. So I will be introducing legislation on Tuesday in City Council that will require that all AEDs be registered with the City of Pittsburgh and the Department of Emergency Medicine at the University of Pittsburgh. That way we can track them, we can inspect them to make sure they're working, and we can make sure that if they're used at any point, they're properly replaced and back in working order. And then lastly, and the most exciting part, is the launch of PulsePoint in the City of Pittsburgh and Allegheny County. PulsePoint is an app, and you'll hear more about it in detail a little bit later, that tells you when you're needed. As you can imagine, we could all be standing in a room, maybe a little less likely here at the 911 center than if we were doing this downtown, but you can be a well-trained doctor on the 5th floor of the city-county building, and there could be someone in cardiac arrest on the other side of the hall in the mayor's office, and you would never know. There's no notification, there's no way to know that you're there. Through PulsePoint, once you're registered and logged on as a member, you will instantly get alert that tells you you're needed across the hall in the city-county building. You're needed across the street at 1 Oxford Center or wherever the emergency may be. So if you're within close proximity and you're well-trained, you can go and help to save a life. And PulsePoint has saved lives across the country. It's a proven technology, and it's such a great opportunity to bring it here to the city. This couldn't happen without a huge partnership, as you heard from my introductions. The University of Pittsburgh, University of Pittsburgh Medical Center, the city, the county, have all been incredible partners. And I learned about this originally from a television show, and I went first to the mayor and told him about it. He said, "It's awesome, run with it." And then I said, "Well, we need County 911." And I was at a Pitt basketball game, and I saw our county executive at halftime, told him about it, and he said, "It's a great idea, my staff follow-up." I assumed sometime in the next couple of weeks I'd get a call or an email. It took about 6 minutes until Willie McCain, our great county manager, came and found me and started working on it. And we've pulled together this team and been working together to do it. And we hit that point today where we can officially launch it, ready to go, so members of the public can use it today. With that, I want to introduce our Allegheny County Executive, Rich Fitzgerald, to talk a little bit about the county side.
First of all, I want to congratulate and thank Councilman Gilman, for his leadership on this. I'm sure all of us can tell stories or hear stories of folks who had medical issues, medical distress, And the words, if only we knew that doctor was right there, we never knew that, or if only we had some things to be able to get the help that they needed quicker. That's what Councilman Gilman's initiative is doing here. It allows us to use technology, which we're really good at in this region, to access the great medical training that we have here. And the fact that the city has been talking about this now, the word's been getting out, and I can tell you for the other 115 municipalities that are part of our 911 operation, and Chief Brown and Chief Thomas, who are here today, they've already been getting calls. How can we join in? How can we be part of it as well? So it's something I think there's a lot of excitement around. I appreciate that the city and the mayor, Mayor Peduto and his team, are going to be piloting this, taking off with this, to make sure that we can use the technology that we have and the expertise that we have to save lives. So I want to thank the county manager. You're right. It doesn't take long for Willie. Once we get to him and he goes into action with him and Jennifer and the things that they do with all the various folks at the county. So again, I want to congratulate Councilman Gilman. We're lucky that we have some initiatives like this coming out of his office and what they're doing to help make Allegheny County, Pittsburgh, a much safer and much healthier place for all of our residents. Thank you.
Thank you, County Executive. As I said, this started with a conversation with me and the mayor. For it to work in Allegheny County, we thought the best place to start it is in the largest municipality and in the center with our hospitals, and wanted to put Pittsburgh as the pilot to get this moving. And the mayor and his team, from Director Hisrick, Chief Farrow, Kevin Acklin, and others, have been supportive every step of the way in making sure we were able to do this. And I do want to add quickly before an introduction, the Hillman Foundation as a partner I forgot to mention. The Hillman Foundation is funding the original setup costs in first years of PulsePoint, as well as a grant to the University of Pittsburgh to do studying and data follow-up. We wouldn't have been able to do this without them, and it's important that this is being done without any taxpayer dollars through their generosity as well. Mayor Peduto.
Thanks, Councilman. I have to start by saying what was presented back when Dan sent an email was only a part of what is being introduced today. What the other cities lack, and what makes this completely different than anything in any other city, is the partnership that the councilman was able to pull together. The universities, the hospitals, our emergency medical services, the city, the county, and the foundation community all coming together as one to say, let's create something that no one else has. This will save a life. This will be able to notify and know where you are through GPS when you're in the need of medical attention. And it will notify anyone around you who has training exactly where you're at. So that by the time that our professional medical staff arrives, our EMS crews arrive, you've already been in a situation where you have a better chance to survive. And what makes this different than just the technology is that we're building the capacity around it. What the councilman's plan does is not just trains city workers, but offers that to city residents as well to be able to be one of those lifesavers. So we're creating a network that's built already upon the greatest EMS services in the country, and quite possibly the world, as people come here to study emergency medical services from around the world. But we're adding to it the ability for people to now be a part of that, to get people past that critical first stage and being able to utilize what has already become what Pittsburgh's known for, technology and medicine, and combining the two together. So for that, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. It really has been an incredible partnership. The Department of Emergency Medicine at the University of Pittsburgh, who's done a lot of the work and did the grant application with Dr. Weiss and Alan Friday, who are here, the foundation community supporting it, UPMC, who has stepped up in every way, both from an expertise level as well as a financial level, to make sure that not only this gets off the ground, but has already started partnering with the City of Pittsburgh to expand CPR training at some of our community organizations. Is incredible. And I do want to recognize John Innocente, who's here, who's president of UPMC Presby Shadyside, and been a great partner on this. And I now want to introduce the director, or chairman, I apologize, of emergency medicine for UPMC and the University of Pittsburgh, Dr. Yearley.
Thank you very much, Councilman, and it's nice to be up here with the mayor and the executive to talk about this. It's important. We have a wonderful opportunity right in front of us, developing in front of our eyes. Pittsburgh and Western Pennsylvania have been shaping emergency care for the past 50 years, particularly emergency care relating to people who have sudden cardiac death. Their heart stops. Everyone here is familiar with Peter Saffer, who came to us from Baltimore right around 1960 and developed the concept of the chain of survival, beginning with the first person who recognized sudden death, through expert paramedics, through emergency department personnel, intensive care people, and rehabilitation. And over the past 50 years, we've honed each one of those steps again and again and found out what works and what doesn't work. And we've been willing to examine ourselves and see what works better. Today, we're talking about refocusing on the very first step, which is what happens right after the moment of collapse when the 300,000 people across the U.S. or the 1,000 or so in our region, their heart stops. The rest of the body is too good to die. What can we do to make that better? A quick and rapid response can do that. As you've heard, we will now have a device that allows to pair up people who have chosen to learn how to do CPR, the basic steps, with someone in need. Think about it. On your cell phone right now, you can pay a bill, you can order a movie ticket. You can now either save a life or have your life saved because of this technology, the perfect marriage of technology and medicine. I look forward to further implementation of this program. Right now in Pittsburgh, we enjoy survival rates from cardiac arrest that are better than most places in the country, but they're not good enough. We've doubled or tripled our outcomes, but there's still a long way to go. And paired together with our partners in the government, lay people who are willing to take on this responsibility, and our duty to look at this and find out newer and better ways to do it, we will make things better. I look forward to not only the city, but other places in the county joining us and us sharing this work with the rest of the country. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. So in closing, just to remind us, it's three-pronged. Know where your tools are, know how to use them, and know when you're needed. With those three key skills, we are going to save even more lives in the city and in Allegheny County. We're happy to take a few questions. We have some other experts here who can answer. And then across the hallway, for those who are interested in a more in-depth analysis, we have a PowerPoint presentation that the Department of Emergency Medicine will lead you through on PulsePoint, going into detail of how the technology works, some better statistics and information on it as well, just across the hall after this. So if there are any questions for any of us or any of our other experts in the room, we're happy to take them.